So a while back ago, Bethesda added the Fallout 76 Gleaming Depths raid, and in this video we're going to be covering the story that went down in this place with the Enclave. It's actually an interesting story, and recently someone asked me to make a video over this just because, well, they couldn't get through the raid themselves. It is tough to get all the way through, and that is how you can learn about the lore of this place. So yeah, in this video we're just going to be going over what happened with the Enclave down here. Hope you all find this enjoyable. Consider leaving a like if you do. Let's get into all this. First thing I'm going to be covering is all of the holotapes. I'm just going to let them play out for you all to soak in this story. There's 5 project audio logs and 3 security audio logs of the security talking about within here. So yeah, check this out. Okay, here we go. Let's listen in.
Dr. Esther Wright, personal log day 1. Today, we begin an undertaking with the potential to reshape the very nature of energy. The true power of ultrasight, a fountain of untold potential, will be revealed to us. We are all well aware now of Atomic Mining Services' exploitation of this material. That is nothing new, and we do not intend to expand on its usage merely as an energy source. No, this project, codenamed Vulcan, has a different aim. For while others simply use ultrasight, we intend to understand it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is where the true power lies. Our understanding of ultrasight, how it is created, how it grows, will assure our dominance for generations to come. Dr. Esther Wright, personal log. The fundamental course of our experiments is in debate. I stand for sonic wave manipulation to stimulate crystal growth. Dr. Robert Gaines argues that radiation treatment is the only path forward. To be frank, the heart of the impasse is Robert's popularity. The science is on my side, but the rank and file favor his approach. The people here are raw and soft. Fewer true believers than I'd like, even among management. Any attempt to overrule him may lead to rebellion. It seems inevitable that we will pursue a dead-end course. The weakness of the masses may doom Vulcan before it even begins. Then management will have all our heads. Dr. Esther Wright, personal log. Though our early experiments yielded little in the way of results, we finally made a breakthrough, and the credit goes to me. It was only a matter of adjusting the wave frequency, just as I insisted. And now the bastards have no choice but to admit it. Robert is finished. Professionally, anyway. His influence still lingers, but I'll make short work of that. We'll make something of Vulcan yet, for the glory of the Enclave. Dr. Esther Wright, personal log. Things are progressing well. The ultrasight is reacting more than we ever imagined. The growth is wild, untamed, dangerous. I can hear the plaudits now. If we can harness this new power, this ultragenesis, then we really will be the masters of ultrasight. The Enclave will truly be unstoppable. But how to harness it, I have a few ideas. Building on Robert's research, ironically. Not that he's around to see his theories reach fruition, torn apart by his own experiments. A tale as old as time. It looked ever so painful. I do hope they find that saboteur soon. Dr. Esther Wright, personal log. Agitation among the staff. Exposure to the empowered ultrasight has resulted in disturbing behavior. We have observed a marked increase in paranoia, delusions, and hysteria among the affected. There have been casualties. The staff blames me for everything. Robert's influence yet lingers. Even in death, he'll be my undoing. Don't they understand? This is simply a setback. Scientific advancement demands sacrifice. The timidity of these bastards boils my blood. Management commandeered my defensive measures. There will be a trial, in Enclave style, of course. Meaning this will be my last message. I regret nothing. Glory to the Enclave. And a curse on the gutless traitors that do Project Vulcan.
Okay, so those were the audio logs about the Vulcan project from the Enclave. Pretty interesting, right? Now let's go ahead and get into the Vulcan security.
Captain Holloway, Vulcan Research Laboratory. With the EN-06 deployed out front, I'm confident that intruders pose little threat to this facility. Thing has more ordnance than a heavy bomber. Any unauthorized anything that walks in here will be dusted faster than a cowboy says howdy. No. Our problems will come from within. Never trust a scientist, I say. Heads get too big for their own good. They always build some machine or breed some monster that goes crazy and kills half or more of the people who gave it its unwanted life. Seen it too many times to count. Luckily, management's on my side for once. If any one of these brainiacs steps out of line, we'll be sure to take care of it ASAP.
Alright, log number 2.
Holloway's log. The eggheads are at it already. Dr. Gaines was working in the lab, shooting sound waves at crystals and pissing off his mutated test subject. Well, what happens when you piss off a mutie? It breaks out of its cage and turns you into a human pretzel. They all swore that protocols were in place, that they'd double-checked. We saw how well that worked out. Won't be the first time, won't be the last. Shame, though. Of all these schmucks, I liked him the best. Captain John Holloway, personal log. I knew it would come to this. Give these science types an ounce of control, and what do they do with it? Lose it immediately. Never fails. I told you, didn't I? Build a machine and grow a forest of radioactive crystals. It makes everyone crazy, and people start dying. Management was quick to act, but not quick enough, I reckon. We've got the place on lockdown, but who knows how long we'll last before the fear gets us too. The Epsilons were called in. That means extermination mode. Normally I'd find comfort in that, but they're not acting right. Not sure I'll make it out this time. If anyone finds this, Jimmy gets my car, and Sharon, my bottle cap collection. Rick gets nothing. That's more than he deserves.
Okay, so those were all the audio logs that you can find within the raid. Gotta say, they help explain what went down here. Now I'm going to go ahead and read off all of the notes and terminal logs that you can find down here. There's not many, so yeah, just sit back, relax, and listen in. These help clear up a lot too. The first one that you can find is right before you fight the Guardian. It's laying on this table here. It's labeled Raven LLC. Here's what it states. Mark, it's Hanley. What the heck is Raven LLC, and what do they want with our mine? Why would they buy us out just to close us? It don't make sense. I thought AMS protected its techs, or I'd never have taken this job. This company is going off the deep end. We're already a dozen bots per person. Soon there will be none of us left. You say we'll be transferred to Welch, but that's cold comfort. As soon as we get there, we'll see another round of cuts, and then we'll be out in the streets while those robots have our jobs. You mark my words, Mark. Nobody is safe. Nobody. Okay, so the next things that we can find will be right before the drill part within the raid. You can find new management on this bulletin board, and here's what it reads. Notice to all employees, as of 12 a.m. tomorrow, ownership of this facility will officially transfer from Atomic Mining Services, Ltd., to Raven Financial Holdings, LLC. So yes, AMS got taken over by Raven. The company will close the mine with immediate effect and liquidate its assets. All personnel are to report to management today at 4 p.m. for reassignment. Look, folks, I know it's harsh, but we saw the writing on the wall ages ago. The coals run dry, and you'll be put on veins that can feed your family. Here's to new beginnings, Mark. And if we check out this Atomic Mining Services staff terminal, here's what is said on this. States here, evacuation warning. Warning, evacuation in effect. All AMS personnel are required to evacuate the premises. This facility is now the property of Raven Financial Holdings, LLC, and is undergoing liquidation. Raven Financial is not liable for injury or death sustained by former AMS employees on its property. AMS employees may not retrieve any personal belongings they may have been left on the premises, and no compensation will be provided for relinquished items. Trespassers will be met with extreme litigation. So yeah, they wanted them out here quickly and not to return. Anyways, next up here is health and safety notice. A word of caution to those coming onto this job from more traditional mines. AMS does things a bit differently than you might be used to. Our deep mining techniques utilize atomic charges to blast much deeper than traditional coal mining allows. That's good for your job, but it comes with this risk, radiation being chief among them. Always wear protective gear on duty, always decontaminate after a shift, never bring radioactive material into the barracks. Use common sense, folks. Right away ain't cheap. And we're on the knife's edge of profitability here. Don't make me fire you for getting cancer. And then lastly, it talks about employee role and what their duties are. Just a bunch of the employees. Anyways, the next thing that we can find to read down here is the Vulcan security terminal. Quite a bit of interesting things on this terminal, starting off with the reinforcements log. Due to the importance of Project Vulcan, as laid out by Secretary Eckert, management has seen fit to provide you with a detachment of troops from Epsilon Squad. As you know, this is an elite task force comprised of only the best the Enclave has to offer. It is a privilege rarely awarded to a research facility. Use them wisely. Keep in mind, Secretary Eckert is in charge of the Enclave. Anyways, carrying on down here to the Enclave Squad Epsilon log. It just talks about who they are. One's a cryogenic warfare specialist, one's a pyrogenic warfare specialist, one's a close quarters combat specialist, automatic rifleman overwatch support, and another is an expert marksman. And yeah, we will be having to go against some of these guys in the raid. We have to go against 3 of them. Anyways, carrying on here, down to the isolation log. States here, we're only a few months removed from the opening of the lab and already silence. After the largest dang earthquake I've ever felt, we have lost all contact with the outside world. It seems that the inevitable has finally happened. No organization in the world is better prepared for its end than the Enclave. The decision has been made. Research will continue. The more we know about ultrasight, the better prepared we'll be to use it in this new facility. In the meantime, we will try to regain contact with CB002 and Site R. Epsilon Squad will begin sorties into the labyrinth of old tunnels and establish a new route to the surface. We have to make Project Vulcan count. The Enclave's new world depends on it. And then, lastly here, the incident reports log. On October 23rd, 2077, large and repeated seismic activity outside the lab. External communications down, work continues. On 7/31/2080, Dr. Gaines killed in own experiment. Dr. Wright assuming project leadership, foul play suspected, no investigation authorized. 4/23/2085, Epsilon patrols first contact with outside threat. Red humanoids, crystalline growths, dispatched easily. Likely more to come. 4/30/2085, incident with Epsilon. Wasp and Python assaulted superior officer, dispatched by automatic turret. Autopsy suggests may have contracted disease from outside contact. 6/7/2085, rest of Epsilon showing signs of infection, voluntarily quarantined for study. No known cure. 7/25/2085, disturbances among staff. Test for infection symptoms returned negative. Cause unknown. Nerves? Discipline crackdown instigated. 7/30/2085, disturbances grow. Reports of headaches, dizziness, violent outbursts. Experiments continue nonetheless. Security watching. 8/15/2085, panic among research staff. Major arguments, violent outcomes, evidence of cannibalism. Martial law declared. 8/23/2085, cases overwhelming staff. Sonic experiments to blame. Situation spiraled too far. Dr. Wright apprehended and awaiting tribunal. 8/25/2085, Dr. Wright found guilty of gross negligence and summarily executed. Too little too late. 8/30/2085, riots among staff. Few sane remaining. Final report, glory to the Enclave. So yeah, there was a lot to break down there within the incident report. We found out what happened to the Epsilon Squad. We also found out what happened to Dr. Gaines because of Dr. Wright. And we found out eventually Dr. Wright met his demise too. Anyways, carrying on over here, we could find a dead Enclave corpse. And on him, we can find a shoot on sight note. Here's what it says. This is the top secret thing. Team, as construction continues on the new research laboratory, it is of the utmost importance that we maintain the strictest possible security measures. The Enclave will make sure of that. Any and all intruders are to be disposed of immediately. Shoot first, no questions will be asked. Word of this lab's existence must never reach the local population. A lot is riding on you as security officers, but as you've no doubt noticed, we will be getting back up soon in the EN06 Guardian, our new sentry bot. With it in place, our role will turn inwards to the lab's new residents. I trust you are and will remain up to the job. The future of America, after all, rests on your shoulders. Captain John Holloway. Pretty interesting. Anyways, we can find another note we can check out right before entering where we fight the Epsilon Squad. Right here it states, final preparations. One last check of supplies before sealing this place off. Once we commit to collapsing the tunnels, there will be no turning back. We will remain here until we complete our experiments and the Enclave returns for the results. This new lab, equipped with state-of-the-art hydroponics technology sourced from partners at Vault-Tec, is well positioned to survive for many decades in complete secrecy. The perfect setting for uninterrupted work on one of the most consequential projects in history. It may be intimidating, but I still believe aligning ourselves with the Enclave is a worthwhile cause. In studying ultrasight, we have the opportunity to revolutionize energy in a world racked by resource wars. A full understanding of this material has the potential to better the lives not just of millions of Americans, but everyone around the globe. So check and double check your equipment, make sure everything is in place, get ready to make history. Robert Gaines, PhD. Anyways, next note will be up here a little before we go and deal with the large crystals that explode within the raid. As you can see, this one says security missive. States here, sensors in the surrounding tunnels have detected motion and sound reminiscent of human or human-sized activity for the first time in our many years underground. Epsilon Squad has been dispatched to investigate, but as an added precaution, our technicians have installed an automated lockdown protocol that will initiate at the first sign of foreign incursion. Recognize that only the voice printed of top management can override this procedure. That means that in most scenarios, intruders must be dealt with before the lockdown will lift. There can be no compromise of the sanctity of this facility. You have been warned. Next up here, we can find a note right before going into that room that we have to destroy the giant crystals to take out the enemies. As you can see, it states here, Butch. Word of warning, Robert's favorite pet is on the loose. Not sure how I got out, but please be very careful as it's no harmless garter snake. One bite from that thing could put you in the ER for a week, so caution. Yeah, Butch the snake got released, and that's who we fight at the end of this raid. It got mutated from the ultrasight. Anyways, last note will be found in the restroom / locker room area right before we fight the giant snake. As you can see, this one states the Gleaming Depths. Looking on the great subterranean lake stretching out before me at the heart of these caverns, I can't help but think, what a wonder, this combination of nature and mankind. There are those who would say we spoiled the natural beauty of it all, but the verdant color of this ultrasight really does call to me in a way I've never felt before. It's like its secrets are reaching out, waiting to be uncovered. I can't wait to get to work. Beyond its visual allure, this cavern is the perfect epicenter for our studies. The Enclave, for all its faults, really did outdo itself in that regard. The heart of the miner's atomic charge beats with its energy. Ultrasight is positively everywhere, plenty for us to study in its natural habitat, as well as bring into the lab for further experimentation. Yes, I can already see that this alliance of convenience between the Enclave and my research staff is primed to pay real dividends for the benefit of mankind. Where once there was doubt, now there is conviction. Let's get to work. Robert Gaines, PhD. And yeah, as you heard previously in the Vulcan security terminal, Dr. Gaines unfortunately got killed in his own experiment. And there's foul play suspected from Dr. Wright. Weirdly though, no investigation was authorized. I wonder if any of this would have happened if Dr. Gaines didn't get taken out. Seemed like a good guy. So yeah, in case you were wondering what all went down in this place, hopefully this helps clear up some confusion for y'all of what happened with the Enclave down here in the raid. But yeah, I'm out here though, everyone. As always, most importantly, appreciate y'all taking the time watching and listening. Until next time, guys, please share your thoughts about this too if you have any. Peace.